Welcome back to this best of 5 series between Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves. EG are now up 2-0. 100 Thieves have one last shot at redemption. We've heard what the analyst desk has to say. Kobe, what do you think?
100 Thieves is going to have to make some drastic changes here, Riv. Must-win game for themselves, backs up against the wall. I thought that they had some good changes heading into game number 2, and it was a lot closer, but man, not being able to win with Ocean Soul, Elder Dragon, and Baron buff, that is a mega tilter. So they have to refocus. This is a best of series. Your composure means everything here in playoffs. See what they can do.
We're into the picks and bans already. 100 Thieves choosing red side on this, so they're looking to get that counter pick. Where it goes, nobody knows. Probably Ssumday at this point with the way he has been playing. Svenskeren and Goldenglue popping off for Evil Geniuses right now, and the rest of the team is right behind them. And you gotta mention Cody Sun going almost deathless last game, or did. I can't remember the last Chaos fight, but he was playing so well, positioning so well. Definitely windows of opportunity for both teams to win through, and EG has just been able to find it over and over.
And with EG back on blue side, they have their choice of the Ashe again for themselves. This time, let's see if they decide to go for it. Obviously, Bang has also put the time in on Senna and Ezreal, so you know, if they want to get jungle or frontline first, also still very wise. I don't think we're going to be saying any like early Renekton picks or anything. I do kind of like how Huni and EG have gone towards the more defensive style for him. You know, the Ornn and the Shen, him playing tanks, trying to play with the team. Yeah, he's taking a beating from Ssumday's Renekton, but it doesn't end up mattering for the team play. Once again, Svenskeren with his 16 kill, I think was the final count game that he had previously. Definitely had a huge game for himself. Lethality Graves showing up.
Oh, Lucian. Oh, my word. The quick picks coming from Evil Geniuses, and they are living evil this game as the Yuumi gets locked in. The Ezreal gets it through, so a lot of comfort picks coming through here, but EG, I feel like, just got some great priority.
I love it. Bang's so ready to punish an Ezreal pick.
Yep.
They were so ready with the Lucian Yuumi. And Lucian, again, with the recent buffs, already you have a pretty good matchup here into Ezreal. It's super easy to play aggressive, dodging Mystic shots with your E, dashing forward, getting your double shots off. I will say that Lucian can be a solo pick right now. Taking press the attack in solo lanes, you can play very aggressively, and they do have Huni on their team. So while it is locked in right after with Yuumi, I'll still say it's technically a flex pick, and they don't have to give it to Bang, even though I do like the matchup into Ezreal on bottom side. And I do expect them to ban out some more supports here on the side of EG. Maybe whittle down on like Morgana, Bard, some of the range ones that can really harass you.
Ryoma with the LeBlanc. That's a unique for him coming into the summer here. Obviously, like riding the bike, getting back to the assassin, but we'll see how comfortable he feels going for quick roams and trying to take down whatever Goldenglue has to offer. Ornn and Corki, it won't be a Corki. Maybe an Azir, maybe something else. They can shuffle around, and we'll have to see. Picks here, final ban from Evil Geniuses' side. What's the priority? The Renekton's there, but are they bannable because you leave up so much more? What do they want?
Ban another support here, probably, that you're worried about going with Ezreal. Guess not. Only thing they really care about was the Bard. Setting up Huni for another tank pick here, even with Ornn and Shen, the two things he's played, being banned out. Jace very good at punishing any of the other tanks too, so I think that signals EG want to stick with the same game plan. Huni can play Cho'Gath, Maokai, Malphite, any of these types of tanks, and they don't want him to get abused too heavily by a Jace.
Pantheon in the bot lane, could be a Poome.
Very probable.
Yep.
Could be a solo lane, but I would expect it to be a support Pantheon. And that's interesting because I really like to see support Pantheons roam a lot. And a point-and-click stun, even with the fairly short duration that it is for Pantheon, a lot shorter than most, it goes so well with Lee Sin because he jumps in, provides the point-and-click stun, plus provides a ward hop basically for Lee Sin. You can just safeguard over to the Pantheon, and those two combine for a lot of early skirmishing power.
They have the damage in the mid lane. They just need a little bit of beef in the top lane unless they want more damage. Also, we were just talking about, I love the pick of Pantheon here for Poome. He's coming up through the ranks as we were talking about. 100 Thieves next. Now he gets put on the Pantheon, a little bit of priority. It does go into his hands, and it's the Hecarim that gets locked in on the top side for Huni, who also gets to show off a bit this game.
Yeah, he can try and redeem his Hecarim picks from their losses versus Cloud9.
Yes,
now they're
sir.
2-0 up in his series, and he's feeling good again. He's like, all right, let's give it another shot here. The first two ones, those don't count, okay? Back to the Hecarim.
And a Malphite getting locked in for Ssumday here, so they'll be able to go toe-to-toe for a bit as he goes Hecarim Copter on the rock. He'll just feel free to fight back and ground slam. I am loving this. The initiations are... It's basically all in. You don't oops a Malphite at all. The team's behind that. So I'm excited for what 100 Thieves has coming out in this fight. And Evil Geniuses, they're looking to seal the deal here, and they bring out a comp that is aggressive as hell.
Yeah, and on the side of 100 Thieves, they're them being the ones that have to change stuff up because they're down 2-0 in this series. The Malphite into triple AD actually sounds pretty nice. Even though you're saying,
yeah,
oh my god, we're taking Ssumday on putting him on a tank. Malphite versus Graves and Lucian and Hecarim, definitely going to get a lot of value out of armor, especially since his lane opponent and enemy jungler both attack damage. You can invest early into these stats, and you have a crazy engage. Malphite ultimates, you get Pantheon ultimate over top of it, multiple stuns coming through. So that's what 100 Thieves are trying to go to save their playoff lives. This is a must-win game for them.
I'm excited for those fights because you also see that Ssumday is such a good flanker. He finds these opportunities, whether it's a walk through the river to find that fight that lasts a long time or he just gets in. So this is going to be explosive. Evil Geniuses putting 100 Thieves back against the wall here. Move on from this game, and you are awaiting Cloud9 FlyQuest as that happens on Thursday. And it's going to be an interesting one all the way through. I'm loving the bracket this year.
Definitely an exciting one. We've kind of rolled the gauntlet into playoffs, so we get the bottom teams fighting for these super long, scrappy win conditions of working their way all the way through to the top of the brackets themselves, and it sets up possible miracle stories. These are some of our bottom teams from the regular season of the LCS, but they can make the win. They can make the run if they're able to finish out and get some, best of 5 wins for themselves. EG looking like they are well set up to do it.
Can 100 Thieves keep themselves alive? Don't hit that. That's not nice. We are getting into game. We're on the Rifts, and we got a Hecarim in the top lane, a Lucian in the bot with a Yuumi here coming from EG's side. And as we pan across the Rift, we see it starts with Mountain. Quite a few members heading towards that top side of the Rift. Off the side of 100 Thieves, as again they have chose red coming into this game. Let's see if their priority pick counts.
All right, deep breaths here, Riv. Deep breaths. Gotta stay calm. Oh, 100 Thieves with a
they were
attempt.
cruising.
Yeah, pretty common to try and attempt, getting summoner spells off of top lane if they're just waiting there. And since it's a Hecarim with no flash, maybe you even get a kill onto Huni if he's waiting in that top lane brush. But surprise, surprise, we come back after the whole play has already taken an attempt, and Huni was not in the brush. So 100 Thieves attempting to try and catch him out. Unsuccessful, though.
Should be an interesting bot lane to watch. A few hits here and there. Staying safe for Cody Sun and Poome, and then maybe some interaction if Ryoma and Contractz can come down and take out that quick and squishy lane. Starting off on the bot, so this is the first time we've really not had any quick invasion to make sure we know red or blue start. So the junglers are pretty blind here to begin. We'll see how that plays into anything. Poome gonna go start quick Aegis jump to lock down Bank for some damage as they say, hey, we're here to play. We're not afraid, even though we're down.
All right, let's see where they can get something going. 100 Thieves, they do have Contractz start red buff top side, so he actually might look to link up with this Pantheon we were talking about even earlier than you would think. Already taunts coming out early level 2 for Goldenglue, and he's really shown up here for NA mids. Goldenglue definitely huge presence versus Ryoma in both of the games. But bottom lane, definitely where we're going to be looking. That big chunk from Bang might take out a lot of the options of 100 Thieves actually making the early Pantheon Lee Sin play.
Yeah, you also just saw that in mid, talking about Goldenglue, and it's a mentality behind that's been amazing as well. With the opportunities that he's been given, and then they've kind of been like, well, sorry, this opportunity didn't work out, but he keeps practicing. He keeps getting better. He knows he can better himself, and that in itself is amazing. He is always trying to better himself, and I found that awesome. Oh, he's good on that, though. The Ignite wanted Ryoma to go out a little bit more so we could burn him down here as he's trying to make plays early in the game. And we'll push the lane a bit more to give Svenskeren a bit of safety on the top side jungle.
Yeah, and Svenskeren going for that counter jungle, wrapping around into the enemy Raptors here, since Goldenglue is pushed up like this. Whenever you have your Zoe pushing in on the LeBlanc, gives you the confidence, and that is a wise way to use your winning lanes as a Graves jungle. You always want, with red buff on your Graves, super aggressive, he's able to steal it away. He doesn't have Smite for the Crab, and Contractz does. Yeah.
Oh.
Smite versus no Smite.
If I block the Q, maybe he won't Q it, and then he just smites it down. Oh, flash forward. They try to get the red buff proc on as Huni can get there to push him, and it forces the flash out of Contractz. Nice try, though, as they get themselves scattered out of lane. Doesn't really affect too much as they go for Contractz. Flash for the junglers.
Yeah, I feel that jungle anger. You're like, you take my crab. Oh, my. He chases after him, flashes after him, with the extra speed from
I've killed people for less.
Yeah. You're going to regret that crab take. Okay, but, they both end up blowing their flashes, so, not big advantage there, and Contractz just goes and cleans up the scuttle. All right, the Krugs.
They are pinging him quite a bit, though. They figure he's going to be on the top side of that map. Huni makes a long run through so he can get Scryers to see if he has any vision covering his sides. Teleport and Ignite for him, so Huni is just looking to kill right now. He wants to get in there for that first blood. We saw how hungry he was to go after Contractz. And Ssumday, he's not going to let that happen. Ssumday's not a player to kind of just make that big of a mistake, so safe there. Huni could have a hard time finding that first blood unless we get some jungler intervention. As bot lane pushed up here for a Bang. They got quite a big wave that made him confident on that cannon side. Zeyzal's now popped off here, and it looks like they're going to go for the support. Does he have enough time to get back onto his marksman? He does! Oh my gosh! The burn's not going to be enough, and they keep the EG bot lane alive with a little rebuttal here. Teleport comes in, though. This is good to break out of Ryoma, and they know that that pressure is going to be held. He's not level 6 just yet.
Oh my goodness, Riv. That is 4 members of 100 Thieves. They send the gank down to their losing lane, plus the teleport of their mid laner, and Bang just dodges. He walks his way out. It costs their bottom lane all 4 summoners.
Right.
But as the top side of EG, when you see Bang and Zeyzal outplaying 4 members on bottom side and living the Flash Pantheon initiation in the face of a big wave, that just gives you so much confidence. Svenskeren's counter jungling on like 100 HP here because they just saw everybody from 100 Thieves bottom side. Really good job by Zeyzal on the Yuumi. Since Pantheon had just used the stun, he knew he had the safety to jump off, absorb some damage, get use out of his passive, use the exhaust, use everything in their power to get themselves out.
Maybe even 3 here. Goldenglue's not even deterred a little bit. Feels comfy just dodging chains, hitting up Poome. Saw that rotation coming around. And they will sit even in CS, basically around the board, but that aggression is definitely going to change some things in the mental here. EG's pushing up a bit more. They have good pink ward vision on the bot side of the map to keep themselves safe. And we'll see if any of these summoner spells can be played off of being down. I think that's the biggest thing here. You got 2 aggressive junglers. We're not seeing them too much just yet if they've cracked each other a few times and kept each other out of the lanes. Yeah, and people have been talking so much about Bang's late game consistency and his team fighting because he's been playing later game carries. You know, tons of Aphelios games, tons of Ezreal games where you need to get to your 2 item power spikes. But now he's showing another of the looks of his early power, something we saw a glimpse of when they picked him the Kalista, playing aggressively with the Yuumi on his back, using the Lucian for lane dominance and earning Evil Geniuses so much pressure. Yeah, absorbing all the pressure from 100 Thieves, getting them this comfortable dragon for themselves with the pushing lanes. Here, Cody Sun is waiting for the waves as they come in here on the cannon. They know they can't push forward as Drake is taken. Ocean's next, so it's Infernal or Cloud. Big word, tongue twister. And we'll see if that even pressures team to go for the Ocean here. Not too much poke coming into this game, so it may just be an all-out fight that gets us into our Drake. Svenskeren is really just staying within the team, thinking Bang's going to be able to come up and help. Uses the ultimate to get on the safe side, but it's not safe anywhere as Ryoma comes down. Goldenglue trailing himself into the fight as well, chasing a low health bar, but is it too far? Huni comes through, Copter Horus in as he gets a double kill for himself and then goes down. Retribution kill going over to Ssumday as he uses Unstoppable Force to get out, but then he's killed, and it's just a back and forth hot potato on kills, and that is going to be a 3-2 now as we start things off.
Yeah, you see the confidence from Evil Geniuses and from Svenskeren, knowing that they are collapsing on him while he's doing the blue buff, and just like, okay, yes, we have the winning mid and bottom, so you guys really want to punish me, then you're going to pay for it with quite a lot. So here it comes once again. Cody Sun and Poome head over. Svenskeren undisturbed there because he knows off of the blue kill, he gets level 6. Yuumi hops onto him. So Zeyzal with the delay there where Svenskeren will go down, but with Goldenglue coming in and the teleport from Huni, they clean up the 2 deep kills and then are able to chase off the rest of them here, even though Ssumday does get the kill onto Huni. Goldenglue is able to clean that one up too, so it's an extra kill over to EG in the end. Plus, they were able to finish off with the blue steal. But 100 Thieves back out on the map. Contractz doesn't want to let that one go unanswered, and Rift Trail started very early with the support roam. Thing about Yuumi is, is staying with the AD carry, so no support roam comes out for EG, and this will just be an uncontested 100 Thieves objective.
Definitely need to get the early game in their favor. The series itself sliding a little bit, now on game point here in favor of Evil Geniuses, and plates are going to go down in favor of EG for this Rift Herald take for that support positioning towards top side. And Sven now putting some damage onto Contractz, end of the line right under his toes. And he's going to be able to get this one. Little revenge for the first one. There you go, Kobe. He gets his scuttle crab.
Yep, happy to have Goldenglue once again push out the mid lane and roam up with him. This is Svenskeren and Goldenglue roaming up to try and push Malphite up while Ryoma... I mean, you can go check in on Bang and Zeyzal, but there's not much he can actually do about that lane. Meanwhile, on the top side, should just be a little minion wave pushback.
Just stand there. I love how Ssumday doesn't mind too much. He's like, I'm going to farm because I know you're bluffing. And I'm going to force to say that my jungler is also top side, so I'll bluff you. I like the play. I like it Ssumday, the mind games. He easily cleans this one up. Not going to be a problem with ground slam as it gets down to that last bit of HP. Boots now for Goldenglue. Lost chapter for Ryoma as they start to piece together what they can use. That 1-0-2 here for Goldenglue makes him pretty deadly. We'll see what the back for Ryoma gives him here. Teleport's going to be up soon, so this is a walk back to lane for him after he pushes. Things are kind of slowing down after that aggression towards the bot side of the map, and you'd figure all the teleports are down, but I expect it to happen again really soon. A minute and a half for this Ocean Drake.
Yeah, again, the Pantheon Flash is available, so Poome can go for the Flash single target stun initiation again. But you really need to be coordinated in it. You know, Ryoma has to be on point with the burst damage coming down as well. They might even need both Ryoma and Contractz to be there right when they started out if they have hopes of taking down Bang.
A prowling projectile coming out of Zeyzal just chunked Poome. Got his shield up though for a bit of safety off of the culling.
And I actually kind of like how the part of the Lucian buffs were 2 extra bullets to the culling. They obviously buffed the Q as well. You know, extra 10 damage at all levels is super nice and just makes you overall stronger and better at all points. But I kind of like the angle of just adding more bullets to the culling. You know, not making the individual bullets do more damage, but just making it more strong in its identity as a spell and really a useful tool at poking out people under towers like that. We did see a big chunk on Ryoma again as Goldenglue gave the full combo there and Ignite used by Goldenglue, but no actual kill.
pings all across the map to say that, yeah, 100 Thieves has control of a Drake area as this is coming up. Might have to fight for it. TP is still down on top. And I loved actually the changes on Delusion. My least favorite one was in the short piercing fight, but it is what it is. Can't let him cheat on everything. Good damage here onto Poome. He gets caught in the final chapter and they write him off. Ryoma though misses the chain on Goldenglue. That was huge. Would have been cleansed out, but definitely doesn't deter Goldenglue from more of the fight here. Contractz with a big kick back from Lee Sin. And he saves himself and Cody Sun for the time being. Oh, the paddle star just over Contract's shoulder. He'll be back, but not fast enough for the Drake with that Herald return. A nice fight by EG to just be controlling overall. Know they had the pressure here. Push 100 Thieves out.
Yeah, they're playing really well off of Bang and Zeyzal. You know, the instant lock, Lucian and Yuumi when they saw the Ezreal lane from 100 Thieves. And it's a statement in playoffs, since with a win here, EG will move on through the lower bracket, and then next opponent has to worry about, well, Bang and EG are very willing to play winning bottom lanes and try and punish you for counter picks like that. If you pick a weak lane like Ezreal early, then you are definitely going to get focused. They're getting 2 dragons stacked off of it so far. Contractz now finally using the Rift Herald. 20 seconds left on the turret plates, so he gets it just in time to cash in on the gold.
A few more. Get it. Dang minions. Put themselves back. Sven off to 3 assists this game, so he hasn't been able to catapult his damage and do as much as he returned on last time. Flash comes through as he tries to dodge what would be the kick. Almost gets enough damage down with an end of the line, but Contractz comes up big. Huni's coming with the teleport over the wall, and Huni's going to use the ultimate, a quick copter kill, and now he's on to Ssumday. Goldenglue could cut off Ryoma here if he takes the right path, and yes, they're going to push him right back in, and that's a double kill again for Huni as he presents himself with the TP.
Yeah, now Ryoma going for a little 1v1 of his own, but he's pretty low on mana.
Ooh, this is a return on that paddle star. Blue buff here is just boom down to 100 HP. And another Teemo thumbs up. He says thank you very much for the lane advantage, as there was not enough kill pressure from Ryoma on that advance.
Yeah, I can just imagine Goldenglue going, yeah, cute little engage there, buddy. Seems like you don't have enough damage to finish me off as he chases him back to base.
Where you going? Where you going?
Yeah, hey, we weren't done here. I've got the blue buff. I'm the level 11 Zoe.
Huni on full control, top side here with the Hecarim pick, just galloping all over his opponents. And he is off to the races on the beginning. A Fiends and a Blade of the Rune King finish as we watch this fight again for the junglers as Huni comes in for the janitorial cleanup.
Yeah, I feel this from Contractz. He's like, you know what? This series kind of sucks. I'm going to go style on Svenskeren, get the kill, and then try and hop out. Huni teleports in, also uses his Ignite and his ultimate to get over the wall and catch him. And it turns out 2 kills as they also catch Ssumday. But honestly, at times like this, you got to go make some individual plays for yourself. Like, all right, I'm just going to go kill the enemy jungler. And he had a cool attempt at getting out with the Q over to the Gromp, into the Blast Cone. But Huni's teleport, Ignite, and ultimate proved to be too much of a strong chase tool. Okay,
He got Triforce now, too. That's a quick Triforce, honestly. 2 minutes onto the Infernal. Looks like damage is going to reign over our map this time, and it's already been charred a bit. Poome's going to go down as Huni is everywhere, participating in just about every fight so far. That kill is going to be going over to someone else, and that's Rift Herald picked up by Evil Geniuses as the top half of the map is all there.
Yeah, I mean, Evil Geniuses have really impressed me with their execution of basically 3 different styles. Game number 1, we've got way better scaling, 5-on-5 team fighting, and they actually beat out 100 Thieves in the mid game to make sure they can outscale, take the game. Game number 2, they have double globals, and game number 3, super strong early bottom presence from Bang and Zeyzal, heavily playing off that Svenskeren, going over there over and over with the Graves, and now he gets stunned up though.
Huni top pushing. The team uses final chapter to stop 100 Thieves in their track, and the final damage coming through is going to be able to take down Contractz. One more shot going on to Poome, and that's a double kill in for Goldenglue. What a third game from Evil Geniuses, just not stopping on the aggression.
Yeah, they are definitely proving to be the better team for sure today. Looking like they want to clean it up in the 3-0 for themselves. During that mid lane push where they use Rift Veil to get 2 towers, guess what? Huni doing work with that Trinity Force that you mentioned, Riv, on top side. Worked his way all the way up to top inhibitor tower as well.
And he's going to need more than a few people to take him down at this point. Yeah, armor's being built by Ssumday, but right now he's still getting pushed around himself. He'll stop, find Huni for a moment here. And he does not know what's on the other side of that fight. So he's out, and he uses the ult to do so after trying to take Krug. So a little reset here from EG before they come back out. 8 seconds on Infernal, and Svenskeren's already there.
You know what that was? That was respect to Ssumday. Ssumday is, at the last time I checked, right before the game, rank 1 in solo queue.
I saw that tweet.
Yeah, he got like 1 game ahead. So for this series, rank 1 top laner, that's the kind of presence that's going to cause a Q seismic shard to make you ultimate away and get out of there.
They've been trading it back and forth. I saw that on Twitter, yeah. Here we go for Infernal. This is 3 for EG. 100 Thieves looking to steal out their first one, so Evil Geniuses isn't going to put themselves in a death position to make that happen. Yeah, Drake goes over to 100 Thieves, but EG is going to fight. Ssumday on the backside. 1 for 1 so far, and Ssumday's now the front line. This isn't going to be good. Huni goes right into the middle of the team as he gets kicked right out by Contractz. Still Ssumday between a rock and a hard place. Culling comes out, and it's just going to be the tickling on the big guy. He stays alive. Goldenglue falls, and so does Poome after the fight clears.
So EG, they will get full control of Summoner's Rift afterwards. They set themselves up for Infernal Soul as well. 3 dragons to their name. And you get to fully clear the enemy's jungle afterwards. Svenskeren counter jungle as well. Leave a couple of the small raptors behind. Nope. They're collateral damage there. The spray from the autos clears them out too. You know what? Honestly, he's almost as likely, if not more likely, to get the respawn of those raptors anyway, as they have so much control. Here's another look though. 100 Thieves, they really want to start to cut off the dragon stacking, so they make a bit risky of a play, trying to just rush down this Infernal Dragon. And once they make the call, yes, they do get the smite for Svenskeren, so Dragon goes over to EG, but they still do pull off that dive, the Pantheon Malphite dive we're talking about. Ooh, we got a little picture-in-picture of the live.
Fight in the mid lane on Channel Live. Svenskeren picks up that kill. Beautifully done. Also, last fight, credit to Goldenglue for nailing Ssumday with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Then it was a single-man ult because he panicked to try and get that unstoppable force off. So really just making it difficult for 100 Thieves to use their options. Oh my god, the prowling projectile damage onto Ssumday. He's just been building armor right now with Ninja Toppies, and he's, see you later. I don't like cats. He's out as Goldenglue and Zeyzal just seem to be a power combo here, roaming around the map.
Yep, and EG, they keep a bang on top side, split pushing, trying to keep all 3 lanes in their favor. They can do that because they do have some wards left behind, some deeper vision, and Bang will be able to play safely, just pulls right out as Contractz and Ryoma go for him. Flash in the SKT as well. No deaths for him this game on the Lucian, and he's been playing aggressively on the edge.
Yep. Woo. Heading up top. Kill coming in for Svenskeren. Prowling projectile comes through. Huni's just trying to chase this fight as it's a double kill going in for Sven. Goldenglue with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble gets one on the end, but does he have the follow-up? He does not. Goldenglue and team just playing with their foods as 100 Thieves cannot find a way to even start the heist on this one. They have been put back and cannot get any objectives, any of these Barons. The first one here being contested by Evil Geniuses. Looks like it will go completely uncontested.
Yep, definitely has been a banger series for Svenskeren. See if they finish off the Baron here. That should be all they need to push inside the base. Maybe a steal. Cody Sun.
Ssumday. Almost at the last second, but they didn't try to do it. Seeing Huni on the backside of the fight doesn't have much to offer here as he picks up the honey fruit. EG is peeling off as Poome goes down before he can even go in. That's how fast that happened. Huni coming around with the ultimate to see if he can get himself in. This is going to be a big one if he can. Right in from the backside onto Ssumday as he tries to cut the team down. Bang! Almost coming up with a kill, but it's Huni's. All for Huni as they can't get one more over the wall. Ssumday gets out alive with a sliver of health, and Contractz just slowly burns away in EG's jungle. Can Ryoma make it out? These guys are just on the hunt right now, Kobe. They are smelling it everywhere and not letting their food get away. Can he? Oh, he chooses wrong? No, the Wolves went back, just looked like a reset. Didn't tell him it was aggro, but that's going to be the fight. Evil Geniuses in the base, and they'll have Goldenglue soon. He's got a long walk back.
Yep, Baron buff here. EG just laying waste to the base. They should be able to get an easy reset as well. So much money to spend, incredibly far ahead, and this is how you want to make a statement after dropping to FlyQuest kind of all over the place for EG. So much more focus this time around. Looking like they are going to try and make this strong push through the lower bracket.
Honestly, if they keep moving like this and slightly changing up the comp, having different ways to do it with poke in there and then bringing it back to just being a full engage comp, they are looking great, Kobe, and I completely agree. Huni here being the front line, and he just wants in, flying over his shoulder as he aggresses onto the side of 100 Thieves, and looks like EG is standing poised now to take an Infernal in 17 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, Huni's going in.
Over the wall with the final chapter of 4v2, as these are now the power crew. Huni and Zeyzal going strong. Goldenglue over the wall. They don't even want the Drake. They want more kills. Zeyzal with the prowling projectile snipes one down, and Huni is just tanking over and over. Mid lane's clear, so EG has a way to walk through, and they're staring down 100 Thieves in their own base.
Yep, GG for EG. It's gonna be a 3-0. 100 Thieves Nexus turrets don't stand a chance.
Super strong game from Evil Geniuses. All around participation from every lane as they brought that pain to 100 Thieves. Evil Geniuses will find themselves moving on in the summer playoffs.
All right, that one was definitely a stomp to finish out the series.
I think you need that, right? You need to show that that's how it should have been throughout the series.
Yeah, I mean, you got to build up confidence. A lot of, making these big mythical runs where people see these low-placed teams make it all the way through the gauntlet, make it all the way to the upper echelons, try and get one of those top 3 spots. Have to be a lot on building confidence as you go, improving as you go, showing that in the postseason you can reach higher than you did in the regular season.
And for Evil Geniuses themselves, full credit, coming back as an organization, especially this deep into seasons, into LCS being a thing, and finding a team you can put together to still make it work like this and find playoff positions. It actually speaks volumes to the organization and everything working behind the scenes.
Yep, definitely true. 100 Thieves, they've been talking a lot too about how they want to build the team and build for the future. So we'll see what direction they go.
That's so true, right? 100 Thieves next. We see what, Kenvi has coming out of Academy. I think he's wowing people. So to see what they can offer is always something great. The talk about Academy and building teams has now been rising ever since C9 is kind of putting the top mark on that. So Evil Geniuses now move on. They look to play whoever comes out of that C9 Fly game on Thursday, and they must be ready. We'll have to see what they can do. We are heading to a short break, but right after we'll be chatting with Svenskeren for our Verizon post-game interview.
Welcome back to the LCS, everyone. After such a wonderful performance in that 3-game series versus 100 Thieves, I had to hear from none other than EG's Svenskeren. First of all, I got to get your gut reaction to the fact that you had to face off against 100 Thieves, which also meant that you're now in the lower bracket.
Yeah, I think a lot of us really took the loss against FLICKR was pretty rough because it was really close and we kind of stumbled in the end. I think we learned a lot from that best of 5 and we just got some experience that I don't think 100 Thieves were really ready for because of the game going, like our series against FLICKR went to 5 games. So I think we improved a lot as a team from that series. And yeah, I mean, just happy that we're still in the playoffs and we still have a chance to make Worlds.
You mentioned the improvement that you've made since then, and I think one of the areas that was key was the fact that you all seemed very responsive to what was happening in the series. For instance, in games 1 and 2, 100 Thieves had very clear game plans for how they wanted to win with early games, with Ocean Drakes. So for you, how did you manage to use that information to create these advantages for EG to make things a bit more stable when things got rocky?
Yeah, so I'm not going to lie, the games were definitely pretty chaotic. In the game 2, the game was really back and forth. And I mean, when I'm playing Graves, I feel like I can always just kind of carry in the late game, so I never feel too pressured. Like, we just need to calm down as a team and not be too stressed out. But yeah, I mean, the games were definitely competitive. And I think they probably tilted a bit after they lost that game 2, where they really made a comeback. We kind of threw the game and then we ended up winning anyway. So yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that we're able to end up clean in game 3 and overcome the game 2 throws.
And you mentioned your Graves play, and it was straight up fire during this series. A lot of your ability to do that, I'm sure, comes from the work that has happened with the team. So walk me through how that has been since the integration of Huni and Goldenglue in the solo lanes, because we saw some compositions from y'all that seemed more characteristic of the old EG.
Yeah, so I mean, just what Huni and Goldenglue brings to the team is just really strong voices and clear goals on how to play the game, like in a team play wise, like objective focused, I guess. So it makes the game a bit easier for me to play when there's always like a clear plan and I know where to be on the map whenever we have a plan. So as long as we keep up pre-planning and I mean, playing the game how we want to play the game and looking for objectives, then it's pretty easy to play, yeah.
And speaking of planning, I'm sure you're already thinking about your next potential series. You face a similar situation as TSM, where either you are going to face a team that knocked you to the lower bracket, which is FlyQuest, or you face off against Cloud9. Which of these scenarios would you prefer, and just what are your thoughts going into that matchup, especially considering the history with some of these teams?
Yes, I mean, I'd be very surprised if FlyQuest beats C9. I think C9's going to beat them, and then we're going to have to play them again. And I mean, last time it was a really close series, and I feel like we learned probably more than they did. I think they went into the series a lot stronger than we did, but towards the end of that series, I think we improved a lot. And I mean, coming next week, if FlyQuest does lose against C9, I think we're going to be able to beat them.
I know we're all looking forward to see what happens in the next matches to come. But with this, I know that you said that you're going to send 100 Thieves on vacation. You did that today. Thank you for stopping by. All right, everybody. Now that we have all of these games gifted to the side of Evil Geniuses in their matchup against 100 Thieves, that makes 100 Thieves the second team to make their permanent exit from the playoffs. For more on that, let's close things out with the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Tigress. Hashtag LiveEvil 3-0 for Evil Geniuses, and some confidence looking at a potential rematch against FlyQuest if they do end up dropping to Cloud9 later next week. But let's talk about this 3-0 series, the bounce back from Evil Geniuses after falling in a hard-fought 5-game series against FlyQuest just a couple days ago.
Feels like they're using the lower bracket run just to continue to warm up, and it's looking good. I think Svenskeren's having some better games, and then bang. What are you shaking your head at? What?
I mean, how long are you going to use that joke where teams are losing on purpose to go in lower brackets for more practice? That's not what happened. Right. They got outclassed.
Hey,
and here they outclassed 100
Sven literally just said in that interview that the prep they gained the experience they gained from their last best of 5 is what allowed them to win this one, probably.
Yeah, I think if they won the last one, they wouldn't even have to play this one in the lower.
That's
lower
true.
Bracket,
that is how the bracket works. I'm glad you understand the postseason.
The experience we gained, and also the vastly lower quality opponents. Right?
Yeah.
I do like this draft for EG. I
Yeah.
like seeing Bang on more aggressive things. He's probably actually, if being honest, their best player. You know, it doesn't always shine because he does play a lot of late game picks. But Lucian, Kalista, I want to see him pick up Caitlyn. Some of these champions that start exerting their influence earlier on in the game, I'd love to see more of it because he looked great on the Lucian pick.
On top of that, we saw the return to Hecarim for Huni in the top lane, probably something they had tried against FlyQuest without finding success. That time around, they bring it back. Do you feel like they supported it better? Is this bringing back some confidence in the Huni topside play or no?
I don't know. Huni's play this series was kind of like weird. I couldn't see, like, I don't know, when I see Ionian boots on Shin, I'm automatically upset. And then this Hecarim pick seemed okay, but the comp is like, I guess you can do Yuumi Hecarim, but the way they won was really like Bang getting picks, Svenskeren getting picks, and like Zoe getting picks. So I really didn't see like the Hecarim pop off. So I'm still like waiting to see those big, you know, wombo combos where you see him go into like 5 people and still survive.
That's the one you mentioned that I think can be fairly surprising for a lot of teams that aren't prepared for it. The Yuumi coming back, because you can play with the Hecarim and it actually works fairly well, right? He heals so much with his W combined with Yuumi, just crazy hard to kill. The ultimates, a lot of synergy there. But Yuumi on her own can be a really strong pick for somebody like Bang, or just a surprising opponent that is not trying to play around the bottom side of the map, because then you just get into the mid game with a Yuumi, and we all know how that turns out.
We do know how that turns out. That turns out not so great for the team without the Yuumi and the Hecarim. Yeah. As we roll through some highlights here of our third and final game, a fairly dumb. This play was very impressive from both Bang and Zeyzal to avoid the 3v2 gank here, using everything in their toolkits.
They almost get a return kill, which is disastrous because now the 100 Thieves bot lane, although they used all these resources, they're actually at a deficit. And this is kind of what happened every single game. All the action early game was around the bot side. And even this invade was like the start of the next play that like just didn't go right enough.
And even though, Svenskeren dies there, Svenskeren still had a pretty great game, and he has some fantastic performances this series.
Can we just appreciate this camera move, though? Sorry, Mark. That was gorgeous.
I think that actually was a good Hecarim ult, because the Pantheon stun was about to come out, so he used it at the exact same moment to dodge it. He would have died to Malphite there.
All right, I criticized that in-game, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm still, I don't know about it. But overall, I still like this comp a lot more from EG. When I think of EG's playstyle, it does seem to be more team fight oriented. You know, whether we can debate it should be Huni on carries or Goldenglue or Bang, whatever it is, it's still regardless a team fight focused team, I think. And this one is more early game oriented, a lot of winning lanes and not a great front line, you know, if they ever fall behind. But it is still focused on fighting, and that's what I want this team to do. And that's what they did super well in this game.
I mean, I think the most important part of these comps is we see Svenskeren on Graves every game. There's no Sejuani or losing jungle matchups that have low tempo. Graves is always going to be able to power farm really well, and if he does get kills, he had that monster game in Game 2 where he had something like 16 kills. Like, that's the kind of thing you want to put Svenskeren on. I thought he wasn't really... I was kind of forgot that he was MVP at one point, because in his last few games, I don't know, he seemed not that prevalent. But in this series, this is exactly how I want to see Svenskeren, where he's aggressively pushing and fighting people and making these big team fights. He uses ult almost every fight, splashing on 3 to 4 players. Like, that's the kind of damage I want to see from Svenskeren.
Well, you brought him up, so we're going to keep talking about him, because when it came to their elimination match, player of the series will go to Svenskeren in the jungle, popping off on the Graves across the games.
Yeah, it's really good to see him actually show up here. I was worried where the Svenskeren was that was the MVP before, but it seems like when they are more confident in giving him a better matchup, like probably saying he can deliver. Now, I think Game 2, when you start with First Blood in the jungle, is a lot easier to pilot, but regardless...
It's a lot easier, but you're not guaranteed to get 16 kills just because you get First Blood. He absolutely popped off this series on Graves, and I think, you know, that game, in particular, Game 2, would have been a vastly different game if they didn't have a fed jungler, because they had these 2 globals. They didn't have that much team fight damage, but Sven was able to show up big time.
So we've seen a number of individuals over the last week, step up for Evil Geniuses to kind of bring them back into that conversation for playoffs. I think a lot of people coming into playoffs expected them to kind of peter out of the discussion. Well, with ramping back up, I think my remaining reservations lie around their macro game. If there were criticisms we're going to throw out today, it was that there were a number of times, even especially in that second game of the series, where it felt like they should have been able to wrap it up way sooner, and they let the opposing team have multiple opportunities to get back into it. You do that against FlyQuest, you are looking at another 5-game series that you possibly lose, as opposed to a dominant 3-0 like today.
Or Cloud9.
Or Cloud9, that's
Cloud9.
true. That's true. Yeah. Well, Crumbs, do you actually think that that's a possibility?
I mean, sure. I thought Dig was a possibility versus TSM.
Crumbs is a dreamer.
So,
Here,
let's dreamer.
if it's possible, yes. Is it likely? No.
Let's pull up the bracket. Let's talk about it, because I know that you liked stylistically the matchup of FlyQuest into Team Liquid, if that were the one that we were going to end up with. But FlyQuest into Cloud9, okay, fine, you think it's possible, but you don't think it's likely? You would actually predict Cloud9 there?
Well, I think it's entirely dependent on where Cloud9 is at, because their downfall in the end of the split was about not being able to find their champions that fitted them in the current meta, and then the new patch came around. So I'm assuming that they're going to continue to struggle in finding that stride, because they have not had stage games. They've just been sitting there and waiting. So there's a possibility that everything they've practiced doesn't work out when they actually play in a game. I think that is what I would bank on if I were to think that FlyQuest is going to win. But if Cloud9 get it together, this is still the same Cloud9 that's dominating teams all year long. So if that's the Cloud9 that shows up, I don't think that FlyQuest will be able to beat them.
You can see there that Cloud9 FlyQuest match will take place on Thursday at 1 p.m. PST. That's Thursday, 1 p.m. PST, to kick off our next week of the playoffs. The loser of that match will drop down to face Evil Geniuses on our lower half of the bracket. Of course, then on Friday, we've got Golden Guardians up against Team Liquid. Loser of that match will drop down to Sunday's game against TSM. So there you have them all on your screens right there. All of them start at 1 p.m. Pacific, so mark your calendars. 4 days in a row, we're coming back with a whole bunch of action. But we're going to see that showdown between Golden Guardians, Team Liquid. That one I'm very curious about, because I feel like I have no good sense of how good Golden Guardians actually is. After 3-0ing TSM, but then watching TSM completely dominate Dignitas, it's very hard to get a feeling for how much of a fight they'll put up against our number one team.
Especially the bot lane. Pretty damn good.
I think that they're pretty legit on Golden Guardians side. I could easily see them making worlds potentially, depending on how they match up against some of the other people. But against Team Liquid, I don't see it. I think, Core JJ will be able to make up some of that bot gap that we saw in the TSM series. I think TL has stronger solo laners as well. And I think in general, they are so good about absorbing enemy team's pressure, and Golden Guardians' focus is still on the early game, still struggle in the mid game. That's the complete opposite of Team Liquid. They're strong and sturdy in the early game and then take over in the mid game. So I think it is a pretty difficult matchup for them.
I thought Golden Guardians had a pretty good read, too, on champions that were very strong in the current meta or against somebody else. It felt to me that their preparation was the best out of all the teams that we have seen play at playoffs thus far. The Ziggs answers, the champions in the bottom lane, even the Mordekaisers for Hanser. I really like the Golden Guardians preparation, so I think that is a strength that they have moving forward, considering nobody else has shown us that same level of confidence in their picks and success.
Preparation is key in best of fives. Of course, it is difficult to prepare for an opponent that you haven't yet seen play a best of five. One of the benefits of having those first round buys for both TL and Cloud9. That is going to do it for us, though, here on this LCS Sunday. Lickety split day with a 3-0. So now on behalf of myself, the casters, the entire remote broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Thursday for more playoff action. Good night.